Out.
I paid about $3,500 for surgery that billed through insurance would have been over $12,000.
It's Money Monday. Are hospitals following a new law that requires them to post the costs of procedures? And is the law really helping patients? Our consumer investigator finds out. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio, and welcome to What's New. A very good Monday afternoon to everyone at home. Thanks so much for watching along with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, good afternoon to you. Hope you had a great weekend.
I did. Hope you did too.
I did. Wonderful.
Beautiful weather out there. Summer
man.
kind of continues here on this Monday. Feeling a little sticky out there.
A little bit.
Tomorrow we're going to turn the heat up even more. We do have some more rain in the forecast too, which is good news because we need it. Matt Wentz will be along in just a little bit with the latest on that.
In the meantime, we begin this Monday with news on the state's first Vaxamillion drawing, which will happen Wednesday. Week 1 registration now officially closed. Here are the numbers, your odds, if you will. 2.75 million Ohioans have a shot at that first of 5 $1 million prize. The winner's name will be announced Wednesday. While the program has definitely increased our vaccination rates, Brandon Simmons found not everyone is excited about the lottery, and some are trying to shut it down.
People on both sides of the aisle are very frustrated about how the money is being spent.
Ohio's historic Vaxamillion lottery has drawn national attention. Several other states have copied it, while some of our own state legislators work to shut it down. Republican Representative Jenna Powell is taking the lead.
It's a gross misuse of taxpayer dollars. So that's really what we're looking at. And we started working on legislation right away to stop the Vaxamillion lottery, because we do not believe it's the best use of taxpayer dollars. And people around the state feel the same way.
The notion has some bipartisan support, all of whom Governor Mike DeWine disagrees with. Today, he touted the program's success with more than 2.75 million people registering to win and vaccination rates on the rise.
We have seen increases really across all demographic groups. Among the ages 18 and 19, we've seen a 46% increase. And ages 20 to 49, we've seen a 55% increase in vaccinations.
Those ages 16 and 17 saw the largest increase at 94%. DeWine says the program exceeded his expectations, with some Clevelanders supporting the decision from the beginning.
Whatever it takes to get people to get the vaccine, but that's not why I did it.
But that's not stopping Powell and others from moving forward, saying the money would be better served elsewhere, including helping businesses that have closed.
And a lot of them had to shut down, and they are suffering greatly. So one of the ways we could spend the money more wisely would be to send it to the Small Business Relief Fund.
Getting the bill passed quickly is a long shot. While Wednesday's lottery drawing will likely happen, it does threaten vaccine lotteries in the future. Now, Governor DeWine says he has no doubt the lottery got people excited about the vaccine and had a positive impact overall. But when asked, he said he would veto legislation like this if it were sent to his desk, Jay.
Now, I think the proof is in the numbers, and the numbers certainly are up. Brandon Simmons live on What's New. Brandon, thanks. Now, this afternoon, the governor also revealed guidelines for unvaccinated and vaccinated children. Kids who are vaccinated and get exposed to COVID do not have to isolate themselves or get tested. Unvaccinated kids, however, should quarantine if exposed or test positive for the virus. Starting June 2nd, it's up to school districts. They then will decide if they want to continue masking and social distancing.
Well, an imprisoned mobster who worked under Danny Green during Cleveland's notorious organized crime era is gaining support for his release from a local sports legend. Stay with me on this one. Former Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar has written a letter and offered his Manaway home to convicted and currently incarcerated gangster Kevin McTaggart. The former lieutenant under Danny Green has served 38 years in prison for his role in a wave of mob killings and drug dealing in the 1970s and early 80s. As we reported months ago, the 64-year-old McTaggart says he is now a reformed man, and Kosar agrees. 3 News investigates. Rachel Polanski has obtained Kosar's letter, and we'll have more details on this coming up at 6 on What Matters Most.
First up on your Feed at 5 on this Monday, during COVID, a lot of us had to pivot, and that includes our schools. Now, one local educators group is upset that some of the COVID CARES Act money is going directly into the pockets of administrators. Our Romney Smith joins us now to explain. Romney, what's the story here? What happened?
Jay, there's a lot going on, but basically the Massillon City School Board approved paying dozens of administrators an extra 10 days of pay as a bonus for their hard work during the pandemic when everyone was working hard. And the Educators Association is saying, what about the students? Now, you're looking at a list of the administrators and some psychologists slated to receive the payment, which is expected to add up to a total of $150,000. In a letter, the Massillon Educators Association says all COVID-related funding is supposed to be used on students, COVID testing, and preparing buildings to be safe for everyone. As you know, everyone connected to the school, including administrators and teachers, were impacted, and that's why the group is questioning how this money is being spent.
Is because these are COVID emergency relief funds. So for example, right now, all of our elementary students go to school every day in 80 to 90 degree weather, wearing a mask in schools with no air conditioning. To us, that seems like a bigger need and use of federal funds than to reward the already highest paid employees.
The Massillon City School Superintendent sent 3 News a statement today saying that he agrees the money should be used on safely keeping schools open. However, that administrators faced more work to keep Massillon schools open during the pandemic, and that school psychologists will be compensated for the restricted timelines that they had to navigate while staying in compliance with state and federal guidelines. Now, the teaching professionals compiled a list of 15 items that they think the money would be better spent on. That includes things like making sure there is a nurse in every school, as well as kindergarten assistants and extra help for students who might speak English as a second language.
Well, you can certainly see why they would be upset. The money is going instead to administrators. Romney, for context here, how much money did Massillon City Schools receive in federal funding? What was the total?
That's a great question. We're actually talking about a total of $5.6 million since last spring, March of 2020. And keep in mind that money can be used for various things, including planning for the next school year and safety for the next school year starting this fall. Now, keep in mind, teachers are saying, again, they're not trying to say administrators didn't work hard. They're acknowledging our administrators worked hard, but so did students, so did parents, so did other faculty and staff members, and they're not asking for a bonus. They're asking for this money to be given back to the students in the form of resources.
You know, something tells me we haven't heard the last of this story. Romney Smith, live on What's New. Romney, thanks.
Oh, runners, rejoice! The Cleveland Marathon is back up and running again this year. We learned today the event will be having its annual races on both October 23rd and 24th this upcoming fall. No route has yet been released, but registration is now open at clevelandmarathon.com for the full half, 10K, 5K, and kids run. The marathon has been working with the city and University Hospital Sports Medicine on safety measures since announcing its postponement back in March. A lot of folks excited about that.
That's good news.
Definitely.
It really is.
That's a good booster for everybody, too.
It's, again, we keep talking about this, but it's one of those baby steps back to normal. One of these things. Because I've heard that some cities, Chagrin Falls among them, are still canceling their fall outdoor gatherings, community gatherings, fairs and whatnot. It seems a little odd to me, particularly that we've known now since April, March. The CDC said chances of catching COVID outside are almost infinitesimal.
Yeah, maybe they don't have the finances to be able to pick up and do it and roll it over again. They need another year to kind of get their feet under them.
I think that could be it, yeah, for sure. All right, we have some great news on the jobs front here in the Buckeye State. Peloton, the bike manufacturer, plans to build its first U.S. factory in Troy Township. If you're not familiar where that is, it's in Wood County, about 30 minutes south of Toledo. It's close to Bowling Green, actually. The popular fitness equipment company plans to break ground this summer and start production in 2023. The $400 million investment will create more than 2,100 jobs. It'll also generate $138 million in annual payroll. So obviously, Peloton's company has seen a huge boost throughout the pandemic because more people were at home, gyms were closed, people were doing whatever they could to work out at home. Peloton was one of the big benefactors of that. Also, they've been having a lot of problems with shipments from overseas, and they're not alone.
Everything has had problems.
Yeah, that's been a huge deal right now. So in preparation for this, Peloton also acquired a fitness Precor manufacturer. They're going to add facilities in North Carolina as well as Washington. So that's good for Ohio. That's a good number of jobs, and they're well-paying jobs.
Yeah, I mean, anything to boost that economy, you know, Western Ohio, Central Ohio, Northeast Ohio, it's the whole state generating everything.
It all helps. All right, next on What's New, it's happened to most of us. You open that hospital bill only to feel sick again. We check in with our 3 local hospital systems on the new pricing rules. Are they following them?
Plus, if you missed the Billboard Music Awards last night right here on NBC, we have a recap of the big moments and winners coming up in your pop break.
And Matt Wintz, ho-hum, just another gorgeous day here in the CLE.
Yeah, let's keep them going. I've got my journal entry today, and it says, another beautiful day, and Jay and Betsy look fantastic on TV once again. CSU cam right now, great look of Cleveland right now. The sunshine shining down on us. It is a little bit cooler today, and the one thing you haven't noticed that's changed is the humidity, which is still with us. Your outdoor dining forecast, it is a little sticky outside, but the sunshine and temps in the 70s ought to help. We've got a hot day tomorrow, and then big changes later this week. Wait till you see the 7-day forecast. We'll share it with you next.
Welcome back to What's New. It is Money Monday. You've heard the horror stories, patients getting unexpected sky-high bills after hospital visits. I've had to look at them twice before and said, did they add a digit somewhere? It's why a law was passed requiring hospitals to actually post their prices for procedures so people know exactly what they're going to be charged in advance of these treatments.
Let's just all agree hospital billing is very confusing for the layperson, and that's 90% of us. Well, the rules went into effect January 1st, but are hospitals actually complying? And is it really helping the patients? Here's consumer investigator Danielle Serino.
When you go to the hospital for a procedure, do you ever ask what it will cost? Kim Cromwell does because she's uninsured, and you might be shocked what she's found.
I paid about $3,500 for surgery that billed through insurance would have been over $12,000.
She got a cash discount simply by asking, which most uninsured don't know, and those with insurance don't do because they assume the cost will be covered. It's something hospitals count on, according to patient advocate Cynthia Fisher.
Because they're making way too much money keeping us in the dark, blindsiding us many times with overcharging or price gouging or upcharging.
But hospitals are now required to provide easy-to-read pricing so people can shop around, which in theory sounds great. Unfortunately, most hospitals aren't following the law.
So over 6,000 hospitals in this country, only a third are slowly putting their pricing data up. And the reality is the hospitals didn't want to do this, and insurance companies didn't because they're making too much money.
But how about our hospitals? We searched for the cost of a hip replacement at the Cleveland Clinic. We found this price for an uninsured patient. With my insurance, it cost this. We did the same search with Metro Health, as well as for university hospitals. So, good news for Ohio patients who can see how widely prices vary. And Kim says prices are even better at non-hospital facilities.
Like, I had blood work done. This year it was $42. If I went to a hospital laboratory, it would be over $600.
But here's the problem with the prices hospitals post. They're quote-unquote estimates, so you can still get socked with a huge bill.
I think the word that comes to mind for me is appalling.
When Liv Cannon needed spinal surgery, she verified first that her hospital and doctors were in network. Still, she got a $94,000 bill for something called neuromonitoring, a service she didn't know she was getting and which was done by an out-of-network company.
The odds of seeing an out-of-network doctor are shockingly high, and overwhelmingly, patients don't want to play medical roulette.
The other issue? The prices posted for the uninsured don't show the discount, as Kim proved with her surgery.
So I'm paying the same rate as an insurance company would pay directly to the provider.
Still, patient advocates say posting prices will create competition and believe we'll soon be able to search for health care just like we search for travel.
And we, the consumers, could demand getting the best price and the best quality of care at the lowest possible price.
In fact, come January, providers are prevented from charging out-of-network rates for emergency room services or for services provided by an out-of-network doctor if the patient's at an in-network facility. I put statements from all three hospitals on our website. I'm Danielle Serino, 3 News.
Wow.
Here's what I have to say. I hope my hips last.
Right?
$106,000 for a hip replacement surgery?
That's an estimate.
If you ever see me walking funny, it's just because
You're saving money.
If I had $10 billion, I would not give $106,000 to somebody to replace my hip. Sorry, that's just the way I am.
Well, hopefully everything's going to start to get tidy. It's not like you're going to McDonald's and, looking at the board and just picking what you want. There's a lot of complicated things. It reminds me a lot of the weather, actually. It's complicated, right? It's not exactly cut and dry, is it, Matt Wins?
He wishes.
No, I wish we had a menu as well where we could just pick and choose exactly what it would be and when. But
I would like it to be 75.
Mother Nature doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I would like that too.
Right.
Here's your weather word for the day, Matt. It's sunscreen, because I was outdoors all weekend long without it.
Oh.
And that is a terrible. My whole body feels like I've been dipped in acid.
Let me look up some dermatology prices here around Northeast Ohio. I'll find you a good deal.
Sunscreen,
Betsy,
my friend.
During this forecast, you might want to do a skin check on Jay.
I know, right?
Keep your shirt on, keep it clean, but yeah, you might want to check Jay's skin for sure. Sorry, buddy. You got to wear that stuff. It makes you feel a little bit better for sure, but we'll get it in the forecast as a reminder for you for sure. But let's talk temperatures a little bit lower than today than yesterday. We have that cooler air coming with the boundary that produced the rain last night. That boundary is stuck just down to our south, so we've got nice breeze off the lake, 70s lakeshore, 80s inland. It is still a muggy afternoon, though. The dew points, once that rain came in yesterday, have just held. We had some fog and low clouds this morning. The dew points right now in the mid and upper 60s. That's some pretty humid air. We get just a little bit more humid than that in the summertime, so this is certainly up there. It is a sticky feeling. That will help keep our temps up tonight. It's also helping to spark just a couple stray downpours down to the south. Remember, I said that boundary is still in place, so it provides a little bit of lift in the atmosphere. Some heavier downpours just south of New Philly now, just crossed 77, heading out towards Mill, and then eventually out of the viewing area. Carrollton, you're dealing with some downpours just south and east of you as well. So here's the boundary. It is now a warm front. It came in as a cold front. It's stalled. It's now going to come back north as a warm front tonight. That's going to send our temperatures surging tomorrow. The big picture, you can see frontal boundary area, low pressure out in the plains. This is going to pull that warm, even hot air up towards the north again. So we've got a warm day tomorrow, and we're also going to have some storm chances, not tomorrow, but Wednesday as that front approaches. So let's take a look at your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Lows tonight only back into the mid-60s, so that's an AC running night for many. You can see tomorrow by 8 a.m. we're already in the 70s. Some clouds, likely some low clouds hanging around tomorrow with the amount of moisture. It's hot tomorrow afternoon. You will need the sunscreen as you're heading out and about because we will have some sunshine out there as well. But you can see temperatures approaching near 90 at times. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Can't rule out a stray popcorn shower or thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. Most of us will stay dry, though, as the bulk of that activity will be off towards the west. Wednesday night is going to be a humid night. We're only falling down to near 70, maybe a little bit above 70 for a low. That will be a springboard out ahead of this front for our temperatures to head in the low 80s on Wednesday. Here comes the front with those showers and thunderstorms in here. What's that front going to do? Well, take a look at the bigger picture in terms of the humidity around here. We've got more humidity in here on Wednesday. Watch what happens when that front moves through. We bring drier, more comfortable air in, but another system comes in here Friday, bringing some pretty decent rain around here. And then setting the stage for Memorial Day weekend, we've got dry Canadian, beautiful sunshine expected. It's going to be a beautiful weekend ahead, but we've got to get through those fronts first. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast near 90 tomorrow. Notice the storms on Wednesday knocks us down. Pretty rainy day on Friday and Saturday, kind of raw, temps in the 60s, but that recovers with some sunshine on Sunday and Monday. Betsy, looking good for next weekend. Let's hope we can keep it that way. I think if someone were to order the menu, this would be it for next weekend.
There you go. So, we'll get a little rain here midweek, a little rain by the end of the week, and then smooth sailing for that holiday weekend. Good stuff. Thanks so much, Matt.
That's it.
Next on What's New, some of the biggest moments during last night's Billboard Music Awards, including Machine Gun Kelly's shout out to the CLE. That's next in your pop break.
And they're calling it the catch of the year. You have got to see this to believe it. I'm telling you, I've seen so many great catches. I don't know I've seen many better than the one that happened in a state championship high school softball game. That's our Worth the Watch. It's next.
Oh, the weekend ended with a star-studded event in L.A. Our Kiera Cotton highlights some of the biggest moments during last night's Billboard Awards in today's Pop Break.
The Billboard Music Awards took place last night, and the music industry showed up and showed out. Hosted by Nick Jonas in Los Angeles, the award show had many great moments, but here's a look at the highlights. Pink, who received the Icon Award, was introduced by Bon Jovi and shared the stage with her 9-year-old daughter Willow as they delivered an acrobatic and aerial performance to their duet, Cover Me in Sunshine. The Weeknd took home 10 awards and finally retired his red suit after a year of promotion. Alicia Keys took us back in time while performing some of her greatest hits at pianos scattered around the venue. And Drake was honored with the Artist of the Decade Award and shared the moment with his friends and family, including his 3-year-old son Adonis, who wasn't too fond of the lights and cameras. With his little one by his side, the 34-year-old rapper gave a moving speech on his artistry and shared how he's been able to keep going throughout the years.
It's being so unsure how you're getting it done that you just kind of keep going in the hopes of figuring out the formula.
And last but not least, Cleveland's own MGK took home the award for Top Rock Artist and made a statement with a painted black tongue. During his speech, he thanked a slew of people, including his EST family, Travis Barker, his daughter, girlfriend Megan Fox, and of course he couldn't forget his hometown.
To the city of Cleveland for raising a savage.
No matter where he is, you can be sure that MGK is going to rep for his city. Back to you guys.
Yes, he certainly does. Black tongue and all.
You got to do the black tongue
I
trick.
will not be doing the black tongue, Betsy.
Throwdown Thursday.
All right, I'll do it if you do it.
Loser gets to do the black tongue.
Here it is, catch of the year. Watch this.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? I mean, that is just, that's like the 5th time I've seen it. And it gets better every time. Her name is Olivia Taylor. This was in the Utah State Championship softball game.
One more time.
And that catch, Betsy, helped Olivia's team win the state championship.
That is amazing.
She is a legend forever. They'll be talking about her and that catch and their state championship for decades.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she goes back and just snags it.
It's just so good.
Amazing.
It's Kenny Lofton, Grady Sizemore, all wrapped up into one.
And even better.
And even better.
She was not getting paid millions and millions of dollars to do it.
Did it for the love of the game.
That's it. That's my girl. All right,
Love
next
it.
on 5:30 here on What's New. With registration closed for the first Maximilian Ohio drawing this week, well, just how many people signed up to become millionaires? The numbers are going to be coming up next.
Then we're all making summer vacation plans. Hopefully you've saved a little extra money because you are going to need it. Wait until you hear what travel experts predict it'll cost for 1 week vacation on average. Wow.
Okay, so what is the difference between products labeled clean and products labeled natural? Are they really better for your skin? We're going to hear from a local doctor about the best recommended cosmetics. We'll be right back.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Kick off things at 5:30 with three things you need to know. The first drawing is this Wednesday for Ohio's Vax-A-Million lottery registration. It's closed as of last night, midnight. This is the first of 5 of these drawings. One lucky vaccinated Ohioan will get $1 million, and one vaccinated teen between 12 and 17 will get a full college scholarship to one of the state's schools. Governor DeWine said today that of the 5.17 million Ohioans who have started the vaccination process, 2.76 million have registered. That means your odds are 1 in 2.76 million if you've registered. The largest increase in vaccinations, by the way, are that 16 and 17-year-old age group. They have seen an increase in vaccinations of 94%.
This afternoon, the governor also cleared up some confusion about kids who are both vaccinated and not vaccinated. This regards the rules. If a child has been vaccinated but gets exposed to COVID-19, they won't have to isolate or get tested for the virus. But the kids who have not been vaccinated will have to quarantine if they've been exposed or obviously if they test positive for COVID.
And number 3, the Massillon City School Board approved giving dozens of administrators and psychologists an extra 10 days of pay as a bonus for their work during the pandemic. The money will come from the $5.6 million that the district received from the COVID CARES Act. It's expected to add up to $150,000. As you might guess, the Massillon Educators Association is not happy about this. They're saying all COVID-related funding is supposed to be used on students, COVID testing, and preparing buildings to be safe for everyone. The superintendent says he agrees the money should be used on safely keeping schools open, but added the administrators face more work to keep the schools open during the pandemic.
That one getting a lot of folks talking today.
Sure,
I'm sure
rightly
that's not
so.
the end of that one, certainly. Well, if this weekend's weather did not get you ready for summer, I don't know what is going to. And today's Top Talker is all about summer travel. Search engines are indicating that vaccinations mean vacations.
Yeah, we're all ready for them. We are. But that getaway could come at a premium. NBC's Dan Sheneman tells us our summer vacations will be a bit pricey.
As the country wakes up from a year-long hibernation, the demand for travel is climbing.
There is a lot of pent-up demand, so travelers should expect the roads to be busier than ever, the airports to be busier than ever.
The average week-long vacation for a family of 4 is ringing up at $4,500. AAA predicts 37 million people will kick off the summer travel season over Memorial Day weekend.
That's a lot more than traveled last year, but it's still lower than in pre-pandemic years.
This is not the year to wait for those last-minute deals. This is the year where you want to plan and you want to book now, as far in advance as possible. Not only because there's high demand and rising prices with airfares and hotels and rental cars.
The Points guy, Brian Kelly, says rental cars are no longer an afterthought for travel.
Car rental apocalypse, as we're calling it, shows no signs of abating, especially as we get into summer travel. Now, they can be more than the cost of your flight per day rental.
Adventure seekers and nature lovers need to read the fine print.
Because so many places are still requiring reservations, from theme parks to campgrounds. So you want to make sure that you are able to do what you want to do when you arrive in your destination, and reservations are going to be key for that.
Whether you hike the mountains, lie on the beach, or head to Grandma's house, experts ask you to remember that we're still in a pandemic, so don't abandon all common sense. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Yeah, pricey indeed. And you know, they talked about the rental car thing.
You said that when you went out to Phoenix,
we tried to get one for one day.
You couldn't even get one.
First of all, they didn't have one, and I said, well, can I get on a list? Well, yeah, you're 60 deep, and I need it in 2 days, so good luck with that. But if you could get it, it was $600 a day.
A day?
One day, $600.
And that's not for like the, top-down convertible foo-foo car.
Whatever we get.
Wow.
And it might be, a two-door spec. And that's what you'll be driving, and you'll be paying. See, but here's the deal. We have taken rental cars for granted. You're
Right.
seeing U-Haul trucks there because in some cities, that's
Right?
what they're renting.
They're just renting that
Driving
to
them,
take
buzzing
the
around on
family,
vacation in a U-Haul.
Going up to Disney World's parking lot in a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, not fun. The rental car thing is so far in the rears because a lot of rental car companies sold off their inventory.
Right.
They weren't using these
And now
cars.
they can't get the cars.
And now they can't get new ones to replace them.
Crazy.
It really is.
Not going to shake out anytime soon.
No, probably not. Well, this story made me smile, and in case you missed it, 50-year-old Phil Mickelson made golf history yesterday when he became the oldest golfer ever to win a major championship. Mickelson had to hold off Brooks Koepka and Louis Oosthuizen to win the 103rd PGA Championship. He did so by 4 strokes. And I'm telling you, he hit some incredible shots, and he hit them under immense pressure. The scene with Phil walking up the 18th fairway was unlike anything I've ever seen.
I think they
in
have
golf.
some security issues that they're going to have to review.
There were thousands of fans. Like, what other sport can you name where the event is still going on? He's got work to do yet, and he's being completely mobbed. Brooks Koepka, who finished second, just had knee surgery. His knee was getting banged by the fans. He wasn't very happy about it.
Yeah, he was very upset coming out of the mob.
But it was nuts. 2 weeks earlier, about 2 weeks ago, Phil tweeted this. He says, "I've failed many times in my life and career, and because of this, I've learned a lot. Instead of feeling defeated countless times, I've used it as fuel to drive me to work harder." Unbelievable. He goes on to say, "So today, join me in accepting our failures. Let's use them to motivate us to work even harder." And just like that, 2 weeks later, Lefty makes golf history.
I just love this game of golf, and I love what I do, and I love the challenge of competing against such great players.
Julius Boris was the previous oldest ever to win a major. He was 48 years old. Not only is Phil 50, he turns 51 in a month.
50 years, 11 months, and 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, a couple more weeks here.
He made a big deal out of that.
And I remember when Jack won the '86 Masters. It was just such an incredible moment. He was 46 years old then. Phil's 4 years older, and he just won the biggest golf tournament of the year so far.
I loved when he came out of the clubhouse. He came out of the clubhouse and he went and he did his, the driving range and getting warmed up.
Yeah.
And then they go up and over that bridge to get to the first tee.
Yep.
He was just locked. You could tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
he was
whoa,
not going to lose that lead.
Phil is here to play some ball. Dang.
Yeah, and it goes to show you that, yes, it's a physical sport,
right?
But the biggest muscle used in the game of golf
Your
is
brain,
right here.
Which
and
is
he had
the
control
problem
of that
for me.
yesterday. Yeah, and me too. And all of us mortals that try to play
Yeah.
golf. It's a maddening game. Congrats, Phil. We're happy for you. Just ahead on what's new, the Cleveland Tiki Barge is back, and that has many happy. We have details on how to spend your spring and summer on the water with the fun tropical vibes that's coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
I think we need to take the show on the road on that thing.
Ooh, I'm down for that.
Do you really know what you're putting on your skin? Coming up, a local dermatologist weighs in on what to be aware of when it comes to cosmetics. And of course, speaking of cosmetics, now's the time to remind everybody, sunscreen, 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 because we have seen sunshine, Jay Griffin, and we do have more sun that's coming in the forecast, right, Matt?
Yeah, Betsy, we absolutely do. We're approaching the first day of summer. That is when that sun angle is at its strongest. So these are the important sunscreen days. We've got some warmth coming our way tomorrow. It is going to be notably warmer than where we are today. And then we see changes later this week. We'll take you through the extended forecast coming up in What's New returns.
The Tiki Barge is back and it has a brand new boat. Good? Okay. Yep, I'm in here right now. Okay.
Well, Matt, it happened. I had somebody just tweet me and said it's been too hot for too long. My answer to that is it's May. We're just starting this.
Right. Yeah, they got a long way to go, Betsy. I haven't had any complaints yet on my Twitter, but I'm sure that's coming for sure. Betsy, one thing I do want to complain about, I was just talking to Joe about it. That fly that I was dealing with last week just showed up. It's literally on Alabama on my map behind me. So I don't know what's going on with this weather. It's clearly not too hot for the flies as they continue to fly around in our basement. There's only one. It's the same one, and it grows about 1.5 inches every week. That thing is a monster right now. Anyway, I diverge back to the forecast here. Your local radar, we do have some downpours out there. They're very few and far between, mainly down towards the south. That's that old frontal boundary that went by last night, brought some of the much needed rain. It's still lingering. There's not a lot of forcing, not a lot of reason for the air to lift around it, but we have popped some downpours. Areas of Tuscarawas County, then over towards the Carrollton area. Minerva, you were dancing around some rain earlier. That is outbound. Can't rule out a stray shower from here on out, not just for the southwest BC. There's a couple little pops just southeast of Detroit. We, again, with this boundary in place, could pop a couple downpours. Other than that, we're dealing with a boundary that's going to head north tonight and bring in lots of warmth. Big system out in the Plain States. This is going to get the atmosphere moving again. It's been pretty stuck over the last week. Low pressure off towards the north. We're going to see some showers and thunderstorms and a surge of heat. The heat comes tomorrow. The storms come on Wednesday. So we've got really 2 days to deal with this system. But you feel it outside. It's humid, and that humidity is going to keep our temperatures up tonight. In fact, we're only falling back into the upper 60s, mid-60s as you get inland. It's going to be a pretty muggy feel, and you can see our model there indicating perhaps a shower downtown Cleveland around 9. We'll see if that holds true. National Design Mart, big picture look. Let's take this all the way through leading up to our Memorial Day weekend, shall we? I know it's Monday, but here comes our front on Wednesday. This is our next real chance of rain. We'll likely see rain and storms around here on Wednesday, as we finally see an end to the heat that you'll be dealing with tomorrow. I think we're up near 90 tomorrow. That front clears the area. High pressure tries to settle in briefly on Thursday. Thursday looks great. I think we'll start with sunshine. We'll increase those clouds in the afternoon. But on the heels of that, we've got another system in the plains. This is a rainmaker. Not expecting any storms with this, but this is going to bring some really chilly air aloft. So you can see area low pressure brings a pretty soggy day in here on Friday. We'll have cooler temperatures as a result. And then for your weekend plans, Saturday will likely be dealing with some lingering showers. We'll see how this transpires. Again, we've got some days to watch this. But behind that, we get an Arctic high in here, or Canadian high pressure, not an Arctic high. It's going to bring refreshing air. Look what it does to our muggy meter. It takes our humidity and says bye-bye all the way through Memorial Day. Boy, we've had some hot Memorial Days around here. And this one certainly is not going to be that. I remember I was always in high school band, and we'd go out, and do the taps at all the cemeteries. And I remember having some really sweaty days. This is going to be comfortable for all those high school band folks around here. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. There's the rain. Friday, Saturday, kind of rainy on Saturday. Temps stay down as a result. But we clear up. We're back into the 70s for Memorial Day weekend. Looks great for that cookout, Jay, that I know I'm waiting on the invitation to. But my wife and I will be there around 7 o'clock.
Yeah, actually it's 6:30, so be a little early. And what's your choice? What's your choice of meats? Do you have one?
Well, we're vegan, but we'll take any meat that you cook. I'm sure it's delicious. And also, we'll still be there at 7. We're usually late.
Well, we'll have plenty of food for you.
And Matt, can you cover for another 30 seconds? I'm right in the middle of explaining outflow boundaries to Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck with that. You're going to need a whole half hour.
I saw them yesterday over Lake Erie. I was so excited. I took a picture and I said, I want Betsy to tell me what this is. Okay, Matt, thanks. Well, it's time now to see what's clicking in Cleveland. Let's bring in Stephanie Haney to do that. Hi, Steph. How are you?
Hi, Jay. It's a great Monday. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice spot to be in when players want to be on our football team. Here's what's new in the Cleveland Browns locker room. Tight end David Njoku is said to be in a good place with the team. That's according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Njoku reportedly no longer wants to be traded out of Cleveland. Now, that's in line with what he commented earlier this offseason when the Bleacher Report proposed a trade to the Jaguars. Njoku wrote, "I ain't going nowhere." Now, that's a change from his reported requests for a trade in the 2020 offseason. John Krasinski fans got a big surprise over the weekend at an early preview for his new movie. Look at this.
All right. Kids, ready? Can I just get this picture really quick?
Yeah. Those Most people were so shocked to see him, they didn't even recognize him at first. Now that's not until other people started screaming. He showed up at the Cinemark at Valley View on Saturday night for a preview of A Quiet Place 2. Then he hung around and talked with the audience in a Q&A presented by the Greater Cleveland Film Commission. And then he shared these clips online on Sunday with the hashtag Cleveland Rocks. And there's a new boat in town if you want to sip and sightsee around Cleveland. The Cleveland Tiki Barge is now open for its second season with a new addition to its fleet. It's bigger and it can fit up to 30 people. They also offer paddleboarding now. You can book now 7 days a week at the link on WKYC.com. Now these tours all last about 2 hours. They're all BYOB. Love that. You can bring your own snacks too. It's a very tropical vibe to float around the flats in downtown Jay and Betsy. And I am with you guys. You two anchor from the barge. At 6 o'clock, I'll run down to the flats and I'll hop on with the refreshments for us.
It fits 30 people. We could have the whole team on board.
You're on there live. Matt's on there live to do weather. We got the whole crew on there.
We need to make this
perfect.
happen.
Yeah, Betsy's going to get on that right after the 6 today. She's going to make some calls and see what she can do.
I'll push a few things down in my plans to make that happen.
Thanks,
All right,
Stephanie.
Stephanie, thanks. Next on What's New, the science behind what you may be putting on your skin. This is so interesting. How to know what's really good when it comes to skincare and cosmetics for both men and women. That's ahead.
All right, and selling a prized possession collection to help a sick puppy. How this boy got more than he bargained for just for being selfless. This is a wonderful story that you're definitely going to want to see.
Well, this week for Save Our Sauce Week, we're highlighting coffee shops. First up, a Channel 3 favorite, Rising Star Coffee. What started as a small single shop has blossomed into several shops around Greater Cleveland. You can visit WKYC.com/SaveOurSauce for a full list of shops from our Doug Tratner.
Welcome back to What's New. I'm sure you've seen the commercials for clean and natural cosmetics and other skincare products. The buzzwords have a lot of people talking and even considering switching to those lines.
Right? And it sounds great, right? But are they all that they're made out to be? A local dermatologist weighs the pros and the cons.
Just because something is natural does not mean it is good for you.
Dr. Faith Durden is a board-certified dermatologist at Western Reserve Dermatology. And she says if you really want to know what exactly you're putting on your skin, keep this in mind.
There's plenty of products that have been used for years, decades, in the beauty industry that are synthetic and are completely safe. It's not only using the term clean products that delineates what we're putting on our skin, but it's a bit of a marketing tool as well.
Dr. Durden says you should be very careful about how much product you use. And remember, just because something is natural doesn't mean it's always good for you.
I tease sometimes and tell my patients, yeah, poison ivy is natural too, but you're not going to rub that all over your skin, right? The concept of clean cosmetics or clean products is really not a term that's recognized by the American Academy of Dermatology.
So when it comes to the difference between clean and natural, it all comes down to these two separate entities, the Environmental Working Group and the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics. Both developed a stringent policy regarding certain ingredients in personal care products.
My understanding is that just because a product is clean does not necessarily mean it will be natural. So there are some synthetic products that the other two entities feel are going to be fine.
Now, if you're looking for a good makeup brand or skincare line, don't think you have to break the bank. Dr. Durden recommends these drugstore brands. And if you want something a little higher end, these are the companies to look for from a department store or a cosmetic store like Sephora.
I also try to recommend those kinds of cosmetic products that are known to be non-comedogenic, and they've also had testing to show that they're hypoallergenic.
Remember, everyone has different skin types.
Nothing's a panacea, of course. One thing might work for one person and not work for another person. So it's important to just kind of enter into these things with an open mind, but just to have a springboard from which to jump in terms of products that are considered to be safe and hypoallergenic.
So should we switch to clean products?
I think more research needs to be performed, but do I recommend that one switch to these so-called clean products? No, not necessarily.
How about that? Makes you think, doesn't it? So the next time you go to the store for cosmetics or skincare, maybe think twice, look at the ingredients. The three main rating categories that the Environmental Working Group and the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics look at to determine if an ingredient should be considered harmful includes allergen or irritant, endocrine disruptor, and potential carcinogen. I found it very interesting. The one line that she got me is, well, poison ivy is natural, but you wouldn't be rubbing that all over you. I was like, that kind of brought it home to me. So there's that, marketing side of things.
Doesn't always mean it's good.
That, sparkle, sparkle, oh, it must be good for me. But I thought that was very interesting. Also, Dr. Durden touched on men's skin. Mm-hmm. Men's skin is different. It's thicker. It's got a little more oil. There's the whiskers.
Yeah.
So that obviously would be a little bit of a differentiation. And she said that, oftentimes there's a bit of a stigma with men's skincare, but there is a reason there are different products, so you may want to try those if you
I wish I had taken better care of my skin my whole life.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, what's the point?
Well, obviously, I didn't wear sunscreen all weekend.
I know. Can I share your line with what you said about makeup and what you'll use? Please share that with our audience. I rolled.
I don't care if it's made of pig poo. If it's going to help this, I'll put it on. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm at that age right now where it's like, it's coming off the rails, and
whatever you use, it looks great. Keep using it.
Patch it on. Band-Aids.
It's not made out of pig poo.
I'll just wear a bag over my head.
Show us something good. It's a great one. A young boy makes a very kind gesture, and he is paid in spades in return. It's a great story. You'll see it next.
Hello. How are you? I'm good. Jason, how are you?
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check.
Betsy, you're going to love our show with something good. It comes from Virginia. 8-year-old Bryson Killian set up a stand to sell his Pokemon cards. He did it because his puppy was sick. He needed to pay for his parvo treatments. So he said, I'll sell my cards. Soon after, his mom created a GoFundMe.
Oh.
The goal was $800 to pay for the treatments, but donations exceeded $5,000. But this is where the story gets great. Pokemon employees heard about Bryson's good deed and said, we're going to take care of this. They sent him a package with rare Pokemon cards. Most people can't even find these in stores. Bryson was thrilled about the cards, but you know what he's going to do with that extra money, Bets? He's going to donate it to help other sick animals in the area.
What a good-hearted little dude.
There's a winner right there.
Cool.
Good for him, and cool on Pokemon for doing that.
Right?
We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5, and we hope that you join us then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now it's 6.